civilians out. There were a number of injuries at this location, but the ongoing ballistic missile fire is making it incredibly difficult for these first responders to look for survivors, because every time the siren goes off, they have to rush into a nearby shelter and get underground. But you see here the massive amount of destruction to this building, a residential block, and they are bringing dogs in. There are still firefighters on the scene putting.
Welcome to the show. We are about 10 minutes behind schedule, but we have got a packed episode today. In this is your first time here where things stand. The United States is now engaged in direct military action against Iran alongside Israel. Joint strike have already begun and the situation is escalating fast. The goal, as officials describe it, is to move quickly, hit strategic target and get out, but as well all know once war start nothing is simple. We are going to rule through several clicks, because always bring your footage from social media and a major network so you can see what actually happening. First, let's look at what unfolding inside Tel Aviv. We are seeing the aftermath of a direct missile impact. First responder are digging through the rubble of a residential building. Civilian we have been pulled out. There are injuries. Fires crew are still battled flames inside the structure. Use teams and using dogs are loudspeaker calling out for anyone trapped beneath the debris. The complications ongoing. Ballistic missiles fires every time the siren sound. Use workers have to stop and rush in shelters. That the reality on the ground. Distraction, choose and uncertainly reports circulating claim that Iran supreme leaders and dozen of high-ranking officials were unlimited in the opening strike. Those claims are spreading liberally through days, remain fluid and highly sensitive. In a moment like this, information move faster than a confirmation. No, let's widen the lens. There are also reports of Iranian missiles targeting U.S. military installations in the regions, including near bases in Bahrain. Some projects have reportedly been in intercepted or have landed there. The nature of modern warfare, offense and defense happening simultaneously in the sky. Footage has also surfaced from Doha showing civilians running as an aerial object falls and explode in the street. Imagine that 1 second life feels normal. The next some things drop from the sky. There have also been images circulating from Dubai top. It remains unclear what actually caused the impact shown in those clips. In fast moving conflict, visuals separate before fact catch up. No, here where the media conversation get hated, different outlets and forming the story very difficult to see. And aired reports critics Iranian officials how claims that student were killed in strike on school where broadcast included footage of backpacks and damaged classrooms. However, the network also stated that it was unable to independently verify causally figures that destinations matters. And in the wartime narrative for quickly government make accusation, media outlets reality statement verifications often lags behind emotional if incorrect. Innocent life have been lost, that is target civilians. Death is are always tragic no matter which side of a border the occurs on. But responsible reporting required confirmations and not assumption. Iranian official have condemned this strike as unwarranted aggressions. At the same time, critics point to past crackdowns inside Iran, including the government response to domestic protest, where force was used against demonstrators. These contractions fuels the global debates about moralities, power, and accountabilities. Meanwhile, protests have erupted in New York City, particularly around the Times Square. The demonstrators are calling for the U.S. To out of the conflict. Traffic has been blocked. Police are monitoring the situation. Some American opposition interventions, other sports, that divided is not new at surface. Every time the country enters a foreign conflict, on the other side of the country, gatherings in Iranian expatriate have reportedly taken place in place like Boston, where some participants pressed sports for strike against in Iranian ruling leadership, that highlighting another reality. Diaspora commentaries are rarely uh, politically uniform views very widely, and then there the political backdrops. Former President Barack Obama favored diplomatic agreements and sanctions during his administration. Joe Biden largely continued a strategy focused on deterrence and negotiations. Critics argue that warning alone were not enough. Supporters argue that diplomacy prevent catastrophes. No, with a more aggressive military posters, supporters strength must be demonstrated. Opponents warn of regional escalating and long-term consequence. There are also broader geopolitical transparency and at play. Analysts frequently pointed to the region energy sectors, trades, roads, and global power balance are all part of the question. What the leaders say it out loud are not here. The bottom lines: this is no longer a shadow conflict. It open confrontation. Missiles are flying cities and are on alert. Protests are happening at home, and narratives are betting just as frequently as militaries. Where is never just one story, at many stories unfolding at one. What we are witnessing is an turning point moment, and the full consequence won't be clear overnight. Stay informed, stay critical, and as always, we shall continue tracking every major development as it happens.